Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Curtis's Podcast Network and this AFC South show 181 here on the channel. My name is Curtis Brown, the host of the channel. You can also find me at That Real Text Team Podcast, where we talk all things Texans. Joining me tonight, we've got my main man, Jeff, down here at your bottom right, a.k.a. Big Steck, host of Unstabled, talking all things Pony Boys. The Battle of the Horses this weekend, so we'll get into that. But Jeff, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good, man. Been a pretty busy, hectic week. Just still trying to readjust to the new work schedule. So,
Yeah.
and the fact that I'm driving an hour one way, just trying to get used to it. But other than that, doing pretty good. We're probably going to be doing a preview pod of Unstable tomorrow going live. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. I'd appreciate it.
Please like, share, subscribe, notification bells,
Please.
Unstable. Filling in for Isaiah, we got a twofer this evening. We got Trevor and Eric of Third and Teal.
That's right. We taking over, damn it.
This evening.
Yeah.
So they're going to be very excited. We're going to kind of, you don't have a Titans fan this evening, so we're just going to, figure that one out. But yeah, so we didn't get to do the reaction to Week 14. This is both a reaction and a preview for Week 15, just so we can get a double dip going. Gentlemen, we only had one game in the AFC South last week, so let's go ahead and get into it. The predictions that we gave, Isaiah said 20-17 Tennessee. Jeff said 17-16 Tennessee. And I said 20-17 Jacksonville.
Amen, baby.
One person with common sense.
Yeah. As much as I didn't want us to win, knew we would.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well,
good. Well, Curtis.
Yay, I got something. But yeah, so let's hear from the Jags perspective before we kind of just riff from the Titans perspective. Which one of our reps tonight want to go first?
Set the table. Set the table, Trevor.
You got it there, big dog. All right, listen. So starting out, our preview, obviously on Third and Teal as normal. I talked about a few things. And, it's the same thing I've been saying for weeks now. The best way we could lose is step on the field, because we've been beating ourselves the entire season. We've lost more one-score games now than anyone else. And if we would have lost Sunday to the Titans, we would have been the most one-score losses in history. Actually. So that being said, we are clearly beating ourselves, and we're the best at it. However, I did also say that keys to victory would be literally just have our defense show up. If our defense played any kind of run stop, anything like that, it was going to be a field goal.
Yeah, it's okay.
And it was exactly that. It was exactly a field goal game. I also think that I did say I wanted us to lose. I did, because I feel like at this point, if we mess up our draft pick, we did all this losing this year for nothing. Because as I was saying before, the players we really need that can step on the field day one impact to push us over that proverbial hill, that line in the sand that we need to cross, are going to go within the top 5. Those guys are going to go top 5, maybe even top 7. If we win another game, we might be number 10 pick, and that's not good enough, I don't think, to make an instant change like we need now. So I really wanted us to lose. But just for that reason, I knew that's exactly when we would win, because we would mess up a wet dream.
Yeah.
Hell to the no. I never want to lose. Never. No, we're not losing. I don't ever want to lose. I guess a damn, because I figured it's one thing. It ain't the players, man. It's the goddamn coaching. That's what it is. It's the coaching. But anyway, Trevor, we just didn't stop the run, man. We tried to stop the run, but they made Pollard look like he was Saquon Barkley that game. It was just horrible. It's really hard. But you got to give them. You have to give them people over there in Tennessee. You have to give them a little credit though, because they did move people out the way and let Pollard run. They let him run. Their problem was they got a quarterback that do mayonnaise commercials, and he can do splits on the top of commercials, or mayonnaise bottles, but he can't hit a wide receiver. Ain't that something?
They should just have all the top wide receivers dress up.
So
Mayo.
yeah.
Here's every time
that may have been that may be something to do. And then you got Ridley, $92 million. He's catching and stepping out of bounds. Yeah, really. I mean, BTJ outperformed him, and he didn't get his first catch to the third quarter. So yeah, I mean, so that tells you all that needs to be said right there.
In the ways of reaction, I do got to say this. On our actual dedicated reaction episode, we showed like 5 plays of game tape and then went into draft talk because there was really that little to discuss. It was a field goal game, and if Mayo wasn't trash, they would have easily won the game. Our defense did everything, excluding Jarian Jones, did everything to give the game away. And our offense is dog shit without Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's a fact. I don't care what people say. I mean, like, I just say this. I also expected them to play harder because Tennessee is our big rival, quote unquote. I think that's going to change now, to be honest with you, because we talked about this on our show. No. Hold on. Here's the thing. This ain't the first time we've taken dirty hits from people. This isn't the first time. But I think because the Texans are a divisional rival already, the 2 losses that the Jags took to Tennessee way back when, most of those people are going to say Tennessee is our big rival. But all of the younger generation coming into it now, like my generation, the 2000 people, 2000 and up, the Texans are now number 1 on our target list. We want all of them to drop that. Like everyone on the team just
that last sentence or so depressed the shit out of me. My generation, the 2000. I'm like, oh god,
Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff. Listen, it's a new time. New time.
It is what it is.
It's a new time, and with this new time comes a new hatred. And I think the Texans are the top of the list. I would hope that they play them 10 times harder next year for that. I believe they will.
Okay, the 2000 generations, y'all hate the Texans. My generation, fuck the Titans. Use my language.
But here's the thing. There's more seasons now. In my generation, there's more seasons now in my generation than there were of the Titans hatred.
Yeah.
But at this point, though, I only brought that up to say this. I knew they were going to play hard, but they still look terrible without Trevor. They can't do anything. Mac Jones he couldn't read a picture book. He's bad.
Defense aren't respecting our passing game without Trevor being there.
They don't have to. There's nothing to respect.
They don't. So they just load the box, stop the run. ETM, I think he's still hurting. I don't care what the hell they say. So he's tiptoeing through the line. They won't put Bigsby back there long enough to let him get lathered up and start punishing individuals. I mean, yes, we was going against Sweat and Simmons. Yes, they are formidable. Yes, they did blitz a lot. But I think we could have exploited that if they would have ran the damn ball and hit BTJ a couple of times across the middle, which for some reason we don't do lately. But anyway, so yeah, they was trying to give it to Tennessee. That's what I said. They was trying to give it to them, and Tennessee just sucked so bad they didn't want it.
Both
so they gave
it
right back.
No.
Yeah, no, literally, it was like at this point, if we tried any harder to give it to them, we would have gotten arrested for point shaving. Like it was bad. Like it was.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, kick the 75-yarder.
Yeah, we got. Hey, we have a better chance. Hell, look, we moving the ball. We moving the ball nicely, and then what do we do? Short yardage. We call a double reverse, knowing we ain't been able to block nobody all damn game, and then we take like a 8-10 yard loss on the play. Really? That's how bad it was. Because I remember texting the guys like, why the reverse? Really? Why the reverse? It wasn't, it wasn't called for. So yeah, it really sucked. Yeah.
Still sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just as a Texans fan, I'm just glad to hear that a team finally hates us. We have our first hate. You know,
I hated. To be fair, I will say, I hated them more the whole time. You can ask Eric. That is verified. I hated them more the whole time. Ever since C.J. Stroud got there, I officially hated them the worst. Like the most. I hated them the most. Not because I hate C.J. Stroud as an individual. I like him as an individual. I just hate the fact that no one agreed that the sophomore slump was coming, and it is glorious to see it happen. And the reason I think it's glorious is because, like I said, I don't hate C.J. Stroud. I like him as a player. He's a great guy and a great individual, actually. I like him very much, but I just think I think the fact that no one had tape on him or DeMeco Ryans' coaching style, it was a perfect 1-2 at the right time, and I think that was the moment. That was the hot moment. Now you're gonna have to fight for the wins. They came pretty easy last year. No one knew what to do with you. You know what I mean? It was you kind of took the league by storm, and you deserved it. You earned every win that you got, but I knew it was going to come harder this year, and all the flack I took for saying that is what made me hate them the most. So now it's just great to be like, you know, it's just
yeah. I mean,
yeah, good
I
point.
had a feeling that a slump could happen, but I thought it would be like a junior slump because I thought Bobby Slowick was going to still be, you know, doing good things. And
no, he sucks this year.
Yeah, he is ass. He's calling reverses in fucking jet sweeps in horrible situations.
Yeah.
I gotta ask though, is it CJ just like is CJ lacking composure under the pressure more this year than he was last year? Because that's what it seems like from an outside perspective.
It looks like
There's
the line is
pressure.
more dog shit than it was last year. That line looks awful.
CJ Stroud is the most pressured quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Because everybody see what happens when he get pressured.
Anthony Richardson can't be far behind. Like
it's
pretty bad.
And you know what's crazy that Anthony Richardson's getting pressured that much is that you really do have one of the best lines. That's what's crazy. Like you really do have one of the best lines in the league, and he's still taking pressure. My opinion, I think Anthony Richardson gets pressure.
Disagree at this point.
The ball too long.
Well, you know, with Anthony Richardson, is two things about those two quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson, or quote unquote, AKA tissue paper. You thought I was going to let that go away. Yeah, tissue paper. Tissue paper. You know, he'll take off and run. CJ won't doesn't run as much. He's trying to throw the ball, but tissue paper, yeah, he gonna take off. He's taking off. Now, if you teach him how to slide, he may survive a couple, and he
I don't want any more sliding. I don't want any Trevor Lawrence incidents. I don't want no sliding. I love what Anthony's doing. He's lowering his shoulder and running through people. I love what AR's doing.
All right.
Another big part of it, I think, is like a lot of Houston's biggest plays last year were broken plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the play breaks down, CJ gets out of the pocket, Tank Dell loses whoever's covering him, and then he's open for a 50-yard bomb. We're not getting that this year at all.
No.
And then we're also getting just no time to throw the ball. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of it, I would say like 30% of it, I could blame CJ for.
Mm-hmm.
And then the offensive line is like 40%, and then the rest is Bobby. And I hope Bobby Slowick is fucking fired after this season. Like, I don't want to. Maybe redemption arc. No, fuck that shit. Get out of here.
It's gonna be a lot of OC openings this off season. Yeah.
Well, there's got to be, because I think the sophomore slump is, in my opinion, it's got to be worse than anyone anticipated it to be. Like, he almost looks like below average in the play style, just the way he's having to play in whatever it may be that specific Sunday, because I know there's some Sundays where it's just he's just not seeing the field worth a damn. I've seen that a couple times. And then you see there's some Sundays where Bobby Slowick can't get out of his fucking way. And then you've got some Sundays where, like, you could tell he wants to throw it to Nico Collins so bad, but the defense knows that. Mm-hmm. And then I will say it does seem to me like if Nico Collins isn't there, he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, it really seems that way.
It's not that he doesn't know what to do. It's that everything he's looking at is covered as fuck.
That's also true. I feel like the routes are basic.
Yeah. It is pretty basic. They run simple concepts. It's like a West Coast scheme, so everything's kind of short anyway. But Nico's able to create separation.
And I saw that in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
When y'all came. I saw that in Jacksonville. And I think I said this on Third and Teal too. Look, everybody knows that Al-Shaair is the enforcer of the defense. If someone's getting on a hot streak, he's supposed to go put the boomstick on him one time. That's his position. We know that. We know that.
He's our goon.
Like, yeah, honestly, he is. Honestly.
Make the tackle, dude.
Yeah, to be honest, it's real, though, because you think about it. I mean, hell, D'Amico Ryans was the linebacker coach for Aziz when he was on the 49ers, and Aziz has been making dirty hits his whole career. This is not something new for him, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this to like slander the Texans as a team. I think D'Amico Ryans slandered your team more than anyone else with the comments he made afterwards, saying that he's who we want to characterize our team, and like he's exactly what exemplifies leadership here and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, great. Make everyone think that you're just a bunch of no good pieces of shit. Like, way to go, D'Amico, because at the end of the day, that was a dirty hit, and I don't find it any coincidence that was the first drive that Trevor seemed to have a rhythm, and that was the first drive where he felt like he was actually finally getting back settled into the game, because he was away for 3 weeks before that. So, or not 3, he was away 2 games, 3 full weeks, 3 weeks of practice, 2 actual games, and he gets himself in a rhythm. We're moving the ball down the field. We're across the 50-yard line, and that's not to say that our defense had been holding the Texans' offense all day. Like it was a defensive battle up until that point, and I don't find it any coincidence that Trevor starts moving the ball, feeling comfortable, and that's when the hit comes. But that being said, after that, when Aziz is gone, that's when our offense starts moving. But then your offense starts moving because our guys are tired and trash. Honestly, they're not good at stamina; they suck. But all the route concepts were basic, very basic. Like the Dalton Schultz touchdown, it was Dalton Schultz, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Dalton Schultz, that was a very basic ass route that should have never stood a snowball's chance in hell of being a touchdown.
You're not wrong, but it was so wide open. That's his only touchdown this season.
Hey, but that's the point. That's the point. He's done nothing this year. Absolutely nothing. But honestly, though, I got to give credit to my dad. He's been saying this my whole life. If you want your first, come to Jacksonville. They'll give it to you. If you want your first anything, come to Jacksonville. They'll give it to you. Every game, an announcer's like, that's his first whatever it is of the season or of his career. And it's like, of course it is.
And, of course, usually it's Tiki Barber saying that crap. His little punk ass. I don't like Tiki Barber. Anyway.
Well, look, let's turn the page. That was week 14. Now let's look ahead to week 15.
We forgot.
We forgot.
Yeah,
you got the
Titans suck. Now we can move on.
Okay.
It was never the Titans.
We forgot the Titans coverage. It was never the Titans. The Titans suck.
Titans suck.
We gotta have the representation for the Titans on here.
Yes.
Well, they don't want the smoke.
I'm gonna do a good Titans cosplay real quick. Will Levis, Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed. Drop the mic, walk away.
I'm just glad that
I'm going to do a Titans. I'm going to do one of our Titans
conversation.
Guys.
I'm just saying.
Pick this up. You guys ready? You guys ready?
Oh, he took it. That's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. Yes. Yep. That's it right there. Missing in action.
Week 15. We've got a full slate. There are no more bye weeks in the NFL. Everyone's playing from this point out.
Thank God.
There are some big games. There are some less than big games, we'll call it. We've got New York traveling to Jacksonville, where New York is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under 40.5. The Jets, of course. And then we have Miami at Houston, where Houston is a 3-point favorite, and the over-under is 46.5. Indianapolis traveling to Denver. Denver's a 4-point favorite, 43.5-point over-under. Cincinnati. And Cincinnati travels to Tennessee, 5.5-point favorite Bengals, 46.5 over under.
Bengals by 40.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that one out of the way. Let's just go ahead and do that one.
Yeah,
Bengals Titans. We'll get that one done first.
42-2.
Joe Burrow would be an MVP if he were on a team that had a defense.
I was about to say he's MVP, MVP, most valuable Burrow, literally. Like, if he's on a competent team, he's a shoe-in. It's not even close.
No,
dude, he has really all the passing stats this year, and it's they're 5-8. It's ridiculous.
And he's like literally got Jamar Chase in the triple crown.
Well, okay, yeah. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm gonna say, well, look at the division they in. They in a pretty tough division, but no, a lot of them losses came before the division play. So I retract that statement.
I mean, if they had a defense that could even cover a bed, they'd be looking pretty good right now, but they don't.
Damn, that sounds like somebody else.
Yep.
Takes one to know one, literally.
Sure, a lot of problems.
If anybody in this division cover anybody, like, can we just get that out of the way?
Yeah. We're pretty good at covering people until you get close to the end zone, and then we
just kill you.
Yeah, we're literally tied for the most passing touchdowns in the league, but Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter are number 1 and number 3 in allowed completion percentage. And it's real low. I don't know the numbers, but it's real low.
Yeah, because everybody's throwing at your linebackers.
Yes. Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because they know Azeez is just trying to take someone's face off, so that he's not really trying to do pass coverage, you know.
Sometimes. Not all the time. You're definitely right. Like 75% of the time, he's just trying to kill you. The other 25%, he's like, oh, shit. Football.
You know, honestly, though,
he's like, wait a minute.
Man, no murder. I'm like on the fence because I remember when I played, that's what I used to do, try and kill somebody come across the middle or whatever as a linebacker. But, you know, to see it now, you're like, wait a minute, no, but that ain't the way you kill somebody. It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So when I see it, I be like, I remember them days, but yeah, they were still, you know, halfway up at least before I hit them. I mean, you know, or they was coming across the middle and they just ran through the wrong zone.
I mean, Trevor was like
quarterback shouldn't have led you there. I don't know what to tell you.
Literally, Trevor was one knee fold from tea time in London, and this guy's like, "Yep, perfect time. Let's just kill him now."
Yeah. Like I wouldn't have had so much of a problem with the hit if he didn't lead with his braced forearm. I think that was the biggest issue with me.
It would have been worse if he led with his head.
No, I mean, like, just if you just went in with, like, his shoulder or something like that, like you're supposed to fucking tackle, it wouldn't have been so bad. But he threw his arm out like, I can't.
You know what? That's what he was thinking. That's what he was thinking. If I don't use my head, I'll be all right. That's why he used the forearm. See? He was thinking.
The braced forearm.
We broke this down on 3rd and field, frame by frame, okay? Trevor started sliding roughly 7 yards away from him. He began to lower down into the slide position. Trevor is 6'6". If he all of a sudden becomes 6 foot, you're going to notice that he is clearly lower than he was when he was running at you. That is a big guy. He is no longer bigger than you. He is clearly going down, right?
You can see Azeez the whole time looking at him too.
Azeez is looking at him. Azeez is stopped. Everybody was like, Azeez was running at him. He couldn't stop. That's horseshit. When Trevor started the slide, Azeez was still standing still. And then he takes steps towards him. Obviously, you run towards him to touch him down, just in case, just an extra precaution. I get that. As Trevor gets lower, Trevor was from standing position to on the ground, and I think it was like 3.5 yards. For 6'6", that's not bad to only take 3.5 yards from full sprint to be down. Okay? As Trevor goes down, Azeez goes down. Like, he lowers with him the whole step of the way and then jumps at him while Trevor's butt is on the ground. Trevor's ass has made contact with the grass. Azeez jumps then. There's no way that hit, nothing about that hit is clean. As a matter of fact, he could have just dove straight and went right over top of Trevor and never even touched him.
Yeah.
Like, he literally could have not done that at all. And it was a heads-up play. No, it wasn't. He was standing still 0.2 seconds ago. Heads up my ass. The only head that he was moving was trying to take Trevor's off. Like, it was just bad all the way around.
Yeah.
And I found it crazy that Tom Brady defended it after Azeez Al-Shaair literally had him in a choke slam. Like, it was like killing him 2 years ago.
Well, Tom Brady wasn't necessarily defending it. He was just saying, like, if the goal of the whole situation is to protect quarterbacks, then we've got to find a better way.
I do agree with that. Like, if this was like a play where, like, say Trevor slides 3 yards away from him, he starts to slide, but Aziz is already in the hit. I get that. That absolutely makes sense, you know? When you got people like Ryan Clark, it cannot be debated that Ryan Clark was a headhunter.
Yeah.
Okay. When you got people like Ryan Clark talking about this is the most egregious dirty hit that I have ever seen, you know you're
– though.
It's not. It's not the worst hit. No, he watched Troy Polamalu decapitate people years ago. Like, he was committing murder on the football field. Okay, but anyway, regardless.
Lawrence Taylor.
But when you're talking about the literal, like, it's clearly intentional that you're trying to hurt someone.
Yeah.
You know? And the fact, too, is, like, even if you lead with your forearm and you make contact with it, right? The fact that he drives it down.
It was the braced arm. Like, you'll notice he didn't lean with his right arm that didn't have a brace. He went with his left that did.
No, yeah. I don't know.
The whole thing
I don't know.
was absurd.
All I was saying was the hit, like, we'd be talking about it even worse, like in worse context, if he led with, like, the crown of his helmet.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Well, that's a loss, though. I mean, you don't want a concussion, too.
Yeah. You know what you're doing. Let me just avoid giving myself one.
Yeah.
I have to be conscious to post my Joker photo on Instagram.
All right. Let's Bengals Titans. Let's get some score predictions and move on. All right.
Bengals Titans.
So Bengals Titans. I'm gonna say the Bengals win.
No.
Go figure. 37-17.
You're going to keep it with the 17?
Their defense is bad.
It's pretty bad.
So 17 points for the Titans seems pretty likely.
Yeah, considering who they have who the Titans got it as their quarterback, I go 37-14 Bengals. And then 14 is being generous.
And then that Bengals defense is straight cheeks, but
it's bad. I was gonna go 35-17. That was what mine was gonna be.
Okay.
We're all going big tonight.
Well, I mean, honestly, you got MVB here and the Triple Crown leading receiver.
Because you look, I don't care. The Titans ain't got nobody to cover Chase. Jamar Chase.
They have Snead. Oh.
Yeah.
And
it was never the Titans.
Jeff, are you sticking with 42-2?
No, I got to be a little more realistic. 42-3. No. I'll go like 42. God,
3.
Bengals defense is terrible. 20.
9.
Yeah.
They're so bad though.
Look, if they could do number score 6 points against our defense, really?
Yeah.
All
right,
man.
Gentlemen, let's talk Jets, Jags. Let's go injuries first. Are there any names that you guys are going to be missing for this game or are trending in that direction?
Shouldn't be anybody new.
No, only one that was real interest was Ingram, but he's expected to play this Sunday. Okay. So, he's I don't think it was anybody else besides the little the yearly nicks and knacks that they put on the injury report. Some they practice regardless, and if they can play, they're gonna play. But I think the biggest one was Ingram. Yeah.
Heard. Well, then let's get into ways to win. How is it that the Jaguars have the Jets come into their house and the Jags leave with a win? What do you have to do?
What we have to do? Sabotage the Jets plane and let them stay in New York?
Shit.
Pretty much.
Shit. No. We could. This is definitely a win.
No.
This Jets offense is not good. I mean, they have the firepower to be, but they're just not.
Well, I was about to say Wilson and Adams. If we can pretty much, keep those two in check, especially that Wilson. That Wilson is a bad boy. I have to give him that. Wilson is bad boy. What we have going for us, that quarterback, what's his name? The old guy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Joe
Yeah.
oh, we're talking about
the old guy. He yeah. Look, he's not as mobile as he used to be. So far this season he ran for like 56 yards. So we really don't have to worry about him scrambling. But as in last year with Flacco, he's an old grizzled vet. So we're going to have to play disciplined ball, because if we make no mistakes, especially in the secondary, like we usually do, he's going to burn us. He's going to burn us, just that simple. I don't know if the running back going to be there, Priest Hall. I don't know if he's going to be I don't know if he's going to be playing or not, because he was on the injury report too. I think for a hamstring or something like that. I know Sauce Gardner is going to be back, supposedly be back from a hamstring. So
ain't nobody worried about Sauce Gardner.
That would be BTJ say. They got to prepare for him. So yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I do think this. I think that another year of development for Brian Thomas Jr. And I know this is hard to say, but I do think that my prediction from when we draft him is going to be correct. He will be the most, I think, versatile receiver in our division. I do think that. I think Nico Collins is better at finding space. Like, I think there are receivers that are better at one thing, but I think he's more of the X factor weapon. Like, he could do anything. Like, dude makes the contested catches. He finds the open space. He can outrun you on any track day. You know what I mean? Like, the guy is just a triple threat in every category that you want a receiver to be good in. So I think a way to win for us is going to be just hoping that the Aaron Rodgers that showed up all season shows up this Sunday. If that's the case, I do think Ryan Nielsen's smart enough to tell the guys, pin your ears back and go get him. He can't outrun you.
Yeah.
Pin your ears back, just nail him.
Yeah.
And I know that Jarian Jones is locked down this year. I know that Tyson Campbell has been locked down since he came back. This would be the kind of offense that Cisco should thrive against. And I mean, other than that, we'll see. And then I think, honestly, it's going to be a lot like the Titans game. I really do. I feel like it's going to be a slow game because neither offense is going to be able to bust anything, because our offense is just terrible without Trevor, like I said. And Aaron Rodgers is on the wrong side of time.
Yeah. So let's see. Brees Hall knee did not participate. Hassan Reddick illness limited. They got a couple. Let's see. Sauce Gardner hamstring. He practiced full. DJ Reed groin. Yeah. That's about all he got going on. Devontae Adams, non-injury related rest, so probably a Veterans Day off. Yeah, so that's their basically injury report for the Jets. What Trevor said. I agree. We just got to frustrate the hell out of Aaron Rodgers. Do something we don't usually do. Blitz the man. He can't outrun you. He's not tissue paper. He's not Lamar, nobody else. He's not going to run away from you. So blitz the hell out of him. Make him get rid of it. Even dunk, deke, and dunk, and we'd be good with that.
The run game will be
game close. Yeah.
If we can get the run game going, we will win the game.
Well, see, that's the other part though, because New York doesn't have a shoddy defense. Their defense is pretty damn good. That front seven is pretty damn good. So, and that's going to come down to our offensive line. That's why I say Ingram is going to be important, because we're going to have to hit him to open it up a little bit for the running backs to come through. So, So I really do think we can take this. I from day one, I said we could, whether they had Aaron or not. But the way that Jets been playing lately, yeah. But our defense is going to have to step up. We're going to have to cover them receivers. We really are, especially if Brees Hall is out. Yeah, we're going to have to take care of the receiver. If we can stop those two receivers, I think we'd be pretty good.
Okay. Well, look, let me get some score predictions out of you both, and then we'll ask Jeff, and I'll give you mine.
17-14 Jacksonville.
Damn it, Trevor. 21-17 Jacksonville.
No, you know we're gonna kick a field goal somewhere.
That's how we gonna get to 21 because Doug gonna go for 2 points somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Jeff?
I don't know, man.
It was never the
Jets
Titans.
line. It was never the Titans.
Yeah.
The Jets line is really bad, but I think the Jets actually have a pretty decent defense. Like I said, Sala was never. I don't think he was ever the issue. I don't know. I think this might be another ugly game, kind of like the Titans Jags had. I think the Jets have better weapons than the Titans, though. I mean, 14. We'll go like 14-13 Jets. I don't know, man. We'll keep it low.
Block that field goal, get fucked.
Yeah, they doink a field goal to lose 14-13.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to go really kind of bananas on this one because I think you guys have the potential on the defensive line to kick the walker from Aaron Rodgers' hands. And for that, I think 27-24 Jacksonville.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hey, all right.
To get points.
So, any more Jets, Jags commentary before we move on to the next one?
Now we can move on. Moving right along.
Baby Hefe, let's talk about the pony battle.
Not the ponies.
The horse race, I guess.
The horse race. The horse race. They are in a race. We'll call it the horse race.
That's pretty much what
I
it
like
is.
it. That might be what I call the next episode, the horse race.
Hey. You're welcome.
Trademark.
Skid mark.
That was the Jags Titans last week. Get out of here.
I'm not even going to argue with you.
It was such a bad game. For some reason, that was the only game they had on Red Zone, too. I'm like, why the fuck is this train wreck still on Red Zone? Put on they show the commercials for one of the other games. This is so bad.
But yeah, I'd rather watch ads.
Oh, it's so bad. It looks like the Colts are getting healthy right at the right time. Really, Doolin is really the only one I think is in danger of missing. Braden Smith hasn't participated in practice, but it's like a personal matter on the report. Surprisingly, Josh Downs, who was week to week, was highly questionable to play this game. Log limited and full, so it looks like he's trending up. Ryan Kelly came off, or I guess is coming off of IR. He logged 2 days of limited, so we'll probably be seeing him back at center. Tanner Bornolini is full from his concussion, so he's probably going to be good. Buckner and Pittman were all full participants, so it looks like they're healthy and they need it. They're going to Denver, and Denver is not bad.
Not bad.
And the Colts have to look at pretty much this game
The
and every game.
Colts suck.
Oh my
the
God,
Colts are terrible. I hate the Colts.
Oh, it's a takeover in here. It's over with.
Gotta poach my people. You got two of them up in here.
Let's do a Jordan Teal preview so we can just do that.
No, I'm gonna hop out of here. I just wanted to
roll right
come fuck
into
with
it.
y'all because I didn't know that both of them were in here. So
Yep.
I'll see you boys in our pod in just a second. I'll have it set up and ready to go as soon as y'all are ready.
Crowded room. Peace. But every game going forward is pretty much a playoff game for the Colts. If they lose to Denver, it don't look good.
Yeah.
I know if the Colts lose and the Texans win, I think that slams the door shut on division, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know if they lose to Denver, if that really like completely eliminates them. I haven't done all the math on it or whatever. I haven't had the time to do that, but it's got to be really slim. So
you do have some things working in your favor. Denver and San Diego. Denver and the Chargers play each other, and I think they both have like one might even have 3 division games. So
it's
pretty dicey.
Yeah, still, if they lose this one, it's got to be, if it isn't none, it's got to be slim to none. This is a must win. in Denver.
Yeah.
And
Lord,
it seems like Shane Steichen, at least for the most part with his offensive play calling, has gotten better. It seems like he's finally using Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor how they should be used. Now, the rushing totals for Jonathan Taylor haven't been incredible, but it's been a lot better. Like against New England, they had a complete makeshift offensive line. He still rushed for 100 yards. I'll take it. I'll take 100 yards. And Anthony Richardson has actually looked really good the last 3 games. You can stat watch all you want, but if you haven't been watching the games, you don't know the full story of it. There's been a ton of drops. There's been a lot of penalties on the offensive line that have nullified big plays. It's kind of been the story of the season. Like no one on this team can catch a freaking football. And right now, the best tight end on the team is Mo, and they're insisting on going with Granson. Like our tight end room sucks, just in general. I'm just getting that out of the way. But the best one is Mo, and he's barely out there. They keep going with Granson, and he can't catch a ball. He can't run a route. And when he does finally catch, there's a holding play or some BS that calls it back. So it's the tight end room is trash. I was kind of hoping that Juju Brents. I mean, again, that was a really slim chance that he'd be able to come back at all this season. But it would have been nice if they kind of sped up his injury or his rehab and was able to return, but that's not the case. So they're still going to be running, Womack, I think, and Jalen Jones. It's a very underwhelming secondary against a team that's been doing a lot better offensively, so that makes me really nervous. Gus Bradley has been not good.
Nope.
I mean, it's
never been good.
It's never been good. But he runs this bend don't break, and he's very fortunate in the last game with the Patriots that the Patriots just were awful in the red zone. Like that was, yeah. Like it's any other team they'd have lost that game like 50 something to 20. It would have been a complete massacre. They just couldn't finish anything. So
he's really got to be careful because it turns out that Bo Nix is a gunslinger.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix is not scared to rip the ball, son.
Yeah.
And not only is he not scared to rip the ball, but he's not scared to rip into Sean Payton's ass for some sorry-ass play calling, too.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about it, 2 things for sure. If he gets out there in the first drive and doesn't like what he's seeing against Gus Bradley, there will be a change.
Yeah, and Gus Bradley will not change.
Will adapt. No.
Gus Bradley will not change. So if he has Bo Nix's number and he's got their offense reeling, they will adjust, and Gus Bradley will keep doing the same thing, and it'll get ugly. Listen to somebody else.
Looking at
have someone else call the defensive plays. Just
anyone but him. Bring up.
I don't give a shit if this team blitzes every play. If they bring 6, 7, 8 play, I don't care. I'm okay. They're letting up the big plays anyway. I don't give a shit. Get after Bo Nix. I keep saying it all year. Your secondary isn't great, and I've even looked at the tackling. Like we have 2 or 3 of the top 5 tacklers. And one of them is EJ Speed. I'm sorry if one of your safeties is one of the top tacklers in the league. Something's fucked up. But he also leads the league in missed tackles, which is really a big part of the Colts defense problems. Like that's not Gus Bradley. We can't tackle for shit. So hopefully they worked on all this during this bye week, man, because it was ugly. That whole like the Lions, I think they converted like 2 or 3 third and longs on a run play. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing at times. So, and again, on every one of those plays, they brought 4, didn't have anyone shooting any of the gaps, and the run was there. Like Gibbs and Montgomery, they're great. They're great running backs, but it's like no team should be able to let that happen like 3 times. That's stupid. So that's the Gus Bradley defense. If he keeps doing this cover, bring 4, it's going to be more the same. Bo Nix is going to look like Joe Montana, and the secondary is just going to get shredded. So I'm hoping for a big game from Latu, from Quiddy Buckner. He's going to have to get a couple of sacks. It's going to have to happen. I'm sorry, is that not it? They're going to make him look like Montana. It's going to happen.
It absolutely is.
Anthony Richardson, again, I think he's looked really good the last few games. I've watched the 3 games. He's been solid. There's been a lot of drops. His stat line should look a lot better than it does. He just needs to keep playing the way he's been playing, and they need to run it like they did with Taylor. I think that sweet spot for Anthony Richardson is right in that 20, 25 passes. Anything more than that, and something's gone terribly wrong. You need to use Jonathan Taylor. He's your bell cow. You just paid him $16 million or whatever the hell a year. Use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, that's your offensive line is healthy. There's no excuse not to run it. Even if you're down, he's a home run hitter. You got to keep feeding him. It's like that Derrick Henry. You just got to keep feeding him. So run the ball, run it well with Taylor. Use Anthony Richardson the same way. Let the big plays develop and get after Bo Nix. That's really, I mean, there is a path the Colts can win this game, and they absolutely have to. I don't know if necessarily this is a game that Denver has to win. I think there's far more paths for them to get into the playoffs than the Colts. So this is a must-win game for them, and I really hope this coaching staff is drilling that home. They have to.
So as it stands right now, the Colts playoffs percentage chance of making the playoffs is 25%. With a win, it jumps up to 51%. With a loss, 6%.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, you're in playoff form now, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Every game from here on has got to be a playoff game.
Yeah, the weather
Honestly,
be
Then
good
if they
for
get
you.
to the playoffs, then the playoffs start.
I fear for the fact, though, I have this fear that that's when the inexperience of Anthony Richardson might rear its face, as in the pressures of this is a playoff game. Because I'm not saying he hasn't done well the past few games. It's like you said, you can stat watch, but there is a different story to be told. But you got to think, even with the stats still come into play to some extent. Like they don't tell the whole story, but to some extent they do. They tell a portion of the story. And the fact that we're congratulating and cheering over the fact that, like, hey, he's been solid for a few games. That's not playoff caliber play from a quarterback, and he's capable of it. I do fully believe that he is capable of taking a game over. I really do. I think he's capable. I just don't think he can get out of his own damn way. And I don't think that Shane Steichen's helping either. And neither is the fact that you guys couldn't catch a cold in the Arctic. But also, I will say, we know your pain. Trevor Lawrence's receivers have led the league in drops since he's arrived. We know your pain. They couldn't catch shit. They honestly, at this point, I believe that if he walked out and handed it to them, they would still have drops. But that being said, I feel like I think you're right. You got to get after Bo Nix. You just got to hope that Bo Nix doesn't rip that bitch over top before you get to him, because he absolutely will. I've been watching film on this kid all year, just because any quarterback that's willing to bark at the coach, I respect that. I'm going to watch that. I want to see what this kid's doing. Like, at least if you're willing to bark at the coach and make something happen. Now, if you're just barking at the coach for no reason and you're just barking because you're a cocky douchebag, then no, I don't care for that. You know what I mean? But, like, the fact that he came back and he got in Sean's ass saying, look, this is not me. We need to do this. And they do it. And I'll be damned, they start winning football games and he's gunslinging this ball like no one's business. I respect that. So I've been watching film on him, and I can tell you, I haven't found like a glaring weakness, I guess, in Bo Nix's game. He's pretty solid. The kid is good. Yeah. And I mean, it ain't going to be just pressures to get him off his game. It doesn't seem like. I believe at this point, you're going to need full on you're going to have sack barrages. You're going to have to actually, you're going to have to get home and actually hit him. We're not talking about, hands in the face. I don't really think he gives a damn about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's going to have to be like pressure rate is going to be really important. It's something that the Colts really struggled with last season. I think they've gotten better about it, but it's still not where it needs to be. It really isn't, especially if you keep bringing 4.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it pisses me off to see it's happened all year, but like to see any quarterback sitting back there and every single play 4, 4, 4, 4, and it's the same shit. Oh, but then a touchdown. Like, I could have told you that was coming. Like, how am I sitting hundreds of miles away and Gus Bradley's on the sideline and can't fucking see it?
It's not the coaching, it's the players. It's not the coaching.
We see that all the time.
Exactly.
Did you give
Well,
us
at
a
least
prediction, Jeff?
No.
Okay, hit me.
I'm going to go 27-24 Colts.
Okay. Eric?
30-24 Denver.
Trev?
31-21 Denver.
Man, LA and San Francisco having one of the Jags and the Tennessee games. It's 6-3 in the fourth quarter.
Well, they're going to kick a field goal right here. It's 6-6. But
Okay.
let's
Sucks.
see. I mean, if the Colts are going to win this game, you've got to make Bo Nix look and feel like a rookie.
Yeah.
And that is not the way he's looked the last little bit. Their defense is playing fucking lights out right now. I think they're top 10 in most every defensive category. Number 7 in interceptions. I think they're number 1 in team sacks. They know how to get after a quarterback. I'm going with the Broncos in this game. 31-17.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It makes sense, though, because, like, if you get after AR, he shows you that he's not experienced in this. As experienced as you would expect a starting quarterback in the NFL to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's still his rookie season, man, because,
this is still his freshman year.
Yeah,
if you're
so
being honest.
Yeah, he's still learning. I mean, if we say that about Trevor and Urban Meyer, we have to say that about tissue paper because because of his injury history. So yeah. So we give him a little break, but yeah, we know. We know.
Okay. Well, then let's pivot to the final game on the docket. That would be the Dolphins traveling to Houston, where the Texans are a 3-point favorite, 46.5-point over-under. Here's a brief rundown of the injuries, starting with the Dolphins. Teron Armstead is, I'm pretty sure, already been ruled out. And it doesn't say here, but he's not played in a few weeks. He's not going to play this week. Odell Beckham Jr. did not participate at practice. D. Eskridge, backup offensive tackle Kendall Lamb did not participate. Let's see here. And it looks like Jalen Waddle has a hamstring, and he's been a limited participant all week. Might be interesting to see how that ends up shaking out. But Jalen Petrie was put on IR yesterday, and that sucks because he was definitely the lifeblood of the secondary. He was the sticky tape holding everything together. Juice Scruggs hurt his foot. He's out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So those are the only 2 that are listed on the practice report that did not participate. Everybody else is trending in the right direction, including a return of the world's worst offensive lineman, Kenyon Green, and Christian Harris has finally surfaced for the first time this year, coming back from what is now labeled as a calf injury that has held him out up until this point.
Is Kenyon Green worse than Dalton Tucker?
I wouldn't trust Kenyon Green to block me on Facebook.
That's good.
I can't.
Just saying that.
Like Kenyon Green can give him a run play. Kenyon Green's like, oh, I get to just go forward and use strength. Cool, I got this. There's a play you can look up right now where Kenyon Green buries Quinnen Williams on a run play. And then the next play, it's a pass play, and Kenyon Green gets buried. Just can't figure that out.
No, that's Quinnen Williams saying, fuck that.
Realistically here, this is a banged-up Dolphins team playing a banged-up Texans team. It's late in the season. Everybody's banged up. But this is going to be we're going to get the Dolphins' best, regardless of who is actually out on the field. This is a team clinging on to playoff hopes that are trying to scratch and claw their way. They've got 3 players with 690-plus receiving yards. Devin O'Shane is already over 1,000 all-purpose yards. He's got 10 touchdowns on the season. He is playing phenomenal football. The Dolphins are built for speed.
Yes.
That's all the Dolphins are. It's just real fast.
And if you forget about it, they'll remind you.
Oh, exactly. But gentlemen, do you know how you stop a bunch of speed?
Don't let them get the ball.
Real hard.
Can we bring back Aziz for this game? Is that not enough?
Tua petitioned the NFL and said, "Please, dear God, no."
Yeah.
I like my brain somewhat.
Not really.
Somewhat, because he definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't feel like he does.
Yeah, when he remembers that he's a person. Well, look, Tua is a solid quarterback this year. He's playing pretty good football as of late. This team is kind of putting together some late game heroics the last couple weeks, but they are also not great. This is an aging team led by interior pass rush, which is, we all know, is the Houston Texans' Achilles heel. But they still have Bradley Chubb on the outside, and Jalen Ramsey's not quite the same as he's been in the years past. I don't fear Jalen Ramsey like everybody used to.
No.
He's definitely not Jacksonville era. He's not even the Rams era. He's just a really, he's a good to above average corner right now. Maybe a little better than that. Maybe I'm underselling him a little bit, but
let me just put it like this: if they had made a play for him to go to the Colts, I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah,
I would have gladly had him.
But for the Texans to win this game, you've got to rattle Tua, and that means D'Amico's got to be calling blitzes, because we saw against the Jaguars when Mac Jones came in, we stopped sending anything but 4 people. We didn't blitz for shit after that. I don't even think we did a stunt after that. And we just let everybody kind of do their own thing. You do that to Tua, this game's going to be over before halftime.
Yes.
Tua is going to murder you if you do that. Yes.
Yeah. So we've got to be pressuring this man like a middle schooler in the back alley of a Kroger.
Ouch.
Yeah. We got to be figuring some shit out. All right. We got to make an offense appear out of nowhere, essentially, for this Texans team that's, came into this year thinking this offense had the potential to be high powered with some of the names that we brought in. And the only consistent piece we've got is Joe Mixon, and that was the biggest fucking surprise in the world. Not because we never thought Joe Mixon could do anything, but because he's 28, 29 years old. That's usually about the time that running backs seem washed, and somehow his career is right back to being a rookie, it seems. So the offense is a run-first team. We got to get that run game going, build a play action off of it, help CJ Stroud not get absolutely obliterated by Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer, who leads the team in sacks.
And Tunzel to stop committing so many damn penalties.
He's gotten a little better. Not a lot, but a little better. It's down to like 1 a game.
Can we just talk about how Calais Campbell is still fucking dominant at this point?
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that is something else, man.
It's him.
Go ahead, Trevor. I'm sorry.
Well, what's dude's name in Pittsburgh? Hayward?
Cam Hayward? Yeah.
Cam Hayward.
Those 2 guys, I think they're in the same draft class. And
their longevity's unmatched. They're fucking insane.
And
we almost got him back, too. That's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
We almost got him back. And honestly, I wish we would have.
I don't understand how the longevity of certain positions has changed so dramatically in my lifetime. Like Jerry Rice played until he was 42. Tim Brown played until he was 40. Keenan McCardell. There's actually a pretty good list of dudes who played well into their mid to late 30s or 40s even. And now we're considering wide receivers washed at 32 years old.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's crazy.
I don't know if they were getting hit by guys that are twice their weight and just as fast.
Yeah, and
Just a
literally,
Yeah, that's
Just a
because we're
different
talking
time.
about like say for instance, just to bring it up, like Shannon Sharp, for instance, that was not a small guy.
no.
And then now you got
No.
Devontae Smiths in the
Yeah.
league. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
that's why they're washed at 30 years old. They're fucking brutalized. They died 3 years ago. They just keep showing up
That's
somehow. But
and people wonder, oh, what's his name on Seattle? God, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
DK?
Lockett.
Oh,
He's
Tyler
not a big
Lockett.
guy, and you'll notice
Oh.
every time that he catches a ball, he's like sliding or
He
diving.
gets down.
He
Yeah.
gets down
Yeah.
like immediately.
He does
He
not
knows
take
he's not a
hits.
big guy.
He does not. Right. He
He's
secures
out of
the
bounds
ball
or
and
down.
goes down. Gets what he can
Mhm.
get down. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he'll know
Yes.
he'll get wrecked if he keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't blame him.
when it comes back
Me
to this
either.
game, Houston's got to get the ball rolling. We got to get some momentum happening. The offense needs to get some things clicking going into this 3 games in 11 days stretch here. So I've got the Texans winning this game in a close one, 23-20, because that just seems to be the only way that we can beat people this season is close as fuck, unless you're the Patriots. Who wants to tell me I'm retarded?
I was going to say 21-17 Miami.
Hmm.
And I was only going to say that because, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but Tua's been a man on a mission since he came back. Tua has not seemed like he's got any deficiencies in his game right now.
Yeah.
He's running out like a one-man Iron Man. And the fact that, Tyreek Hill's got a chip on his shoulder right now because he's down on yards in comparison to previous
I
years.
was just about to say that.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's
eventually he's
going
to have that game, man.
And the fact that Jalen Petre's gone now. And as much as I do like Kamari Lassiter and them, they don't have the speed to run with him.
No.
They don't. And at this point, if you do bite down to get into his face, that's one-on-one coverage out there. That's game over. And it will be bad. Like, all I can think about, and the reason I put Miami over is the fact that our defense did something against you. And our offense was also able to do something with Mac Jones against your defense. Because I feel like the fact that you weren't blitzing is what opened it up. And the only way you're going to be able to cover Tyreek and Jalen, if Jalen plays, is by not blitzing all the time. Because you're going to need the extra help.
Yes and no.
You know,
The Cardinals beat the Dolphins earlier when Tua came back from his injury, and it wasn't because Tua played bad. It was because the Cardinals figured out a way of kind of outmaneuvering their shit defense. It's going to be a battle of kind of keeping pace, at least in the initial phase. You hit Tua
Well,
enough, he'll start kind of wincing before you get there. He already does really well at getting the ball out of his hands fast as hell. I think he's like top 12 in average time in the pocket. So with his I think it's actually top 3 tackles out of the fucking lineup. We have an opportunity here to send 4 and be able to get home pretty regularly. And that would help a lot. Absolutely. But we're going to have to blitz. It's just going to have to fucking happen because this offense is just going to come out. It's either going to be the first half or the second half that we're stagnant as hell. It is every damn week. Usually it's the first half we can't do, or usually it's the first half we put up points. Second half we can't do shit. Jags game was the complete opposite. So whatever. But Hefe?
Like we were saying, I think Tyreek Hill is due up for a big game. I think I'm going to go 27-20 Dolphins.
Okay.
And I mostly say that because it doesn't help the Colts at all for the Texans to win. So
true. Well, for the division for sure. Yeah. Eric.
I think you're gonna have to control who's that guy I'm talking about? The wide receiver.
Tyreek?
Who's the wide? Yeah, no, not wide receiver. Tight end. The tight end.
Oh, Jonnu.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be it for y'all. Y'all gonna have to cover that guy because y'all gonna pay attention to Waddle and Tyreek. So that's gonna leave the tight end running up the middle against the linebacker or somebody. And that boy's pretty fast. He's not that slow. So yeah. My score, I'm going with you 21-20. Miami, but I'm taking Miami. Yeah.
All right.
Fair
All right. Did anybody? No, nobody
Yeah.
chose the entirety of the division to win. Eric almost chose everybody else in the division, everybody in the division to lose. He's the only one who he's got 3 of the 4 games where the division loses. Everybody else is 2 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? And,
Oh no,
and here's
I'm
the
sorry.
crazy
Trevor said
part
the same
about that.
shit.
At the beginning of the
You and Trevor.
season, we all felt that this division was going to be one that would be reckoned with. You know, we really did. And now
Yep.
here we in week 14, 15, and shit, we
Yep.
guess are trying to figure out what the hell going on.
The only
So yeah,
team that
at this
like
point, we
regretted
got to
playing
call
us
it for
was the
what it
Patriots.
is. Yeah,
The
right.
Patriots were the only team that were like, "Oh no!"
Right.
Oh well.
Actually, well, no, the Jags lost to him too. I was going to say, like, if the Texans beat the Dolphins, we'd have that opportunity too. But
No.
nope,
Yeah, that's
that was week 1.
the first sign of trouble.
All right. Well, look, I think this is a
Yep.
good spot to go ahead and wrap it up, gentlemen. Do you have any closing comments?
Go Colts.
It was never the Titans. Fuck the
No, it
Colts.
wasn't.
Never the
Duval.
Titans. Duval.
All right, folks, go ahead, head on over to Third and Teal. They're going to be having a reaction pod coming out here pretty soon. Like, subscribe, notification bell over there, trying to help them grow that channel, hit that 300 subscriber mark. Baby Hefe down here at the bottom right, he is the host of Unstabled, our resident Colts guy, talking all things ponies. Like, subscribe, notification bell over there. Do the same thing over on Titans Takeaways, like, subscribe, notification bell, and That Real Texas Team podcast. Without any further ado, like and subscribe here. Folks, be good people. It was never the Titans.
Never the Titans.
Never.
Go Colts.
Never.